Hello and welcome to today's Daily Rift. So remember last week I mentioned that I had to record a bunch of videos together because I had no electricity? Yeah, well, it turns out I slightly lied because it was actually this week that I had no electricity, not last week. So I recorded all those videos in earnest. Now I have to record all these videos in quick succession as well, just to make up for the fact that I won't actually have electricity by the time this video goes up on YouTube. So it's out all day, which is great. So I'm basically living in the Stone Age today. So obviously not while I'm recording this video, but yes. It probably means I will be recording tomorrow's video in this batch as well. So anyway, a couple of things happened after I got out of the Rift after yesterday's video. The first one was that I gained a level from turning in the quest for the Rift, and we unlocked Blood Vengeance, which I may or may not have equipped. I can't remember now. I'm pretty sure I did. There was some other stuff I did as well, so that's pretty cool. A bunch of scary blue guys here, so we unlocked something else too, but I can't remember. Anyway, yes, so I'm just clearing all this stuff off. Sorry, background distraction. I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, yes, so I don't have power, so I'm recording this video tomorrow. This video yesterday, sorry. And it will go up tomorrow, and we've just got like this endless supply of enemies right now. This is bizarre. It'd be really good if I could do something. If I could feel like I was doing damage to them all, that'd be great. I'm gonna have to walk out, use a potion. Oh wow. Wow. We hit the jackpot for like millions of enemies at the moment. This is bizarre. It's not bizarre, but I'm gonna get killed, I think. Because I cannot vault out of that because of those. Oh, wow.
I wish I could do that. Okay,
come on. No, I can't pot. Shield. Impervious damage. Thank you. Whew. Well, that was important. Now, if only I had decent life on him, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Okay. There we go. Yeah. We got a bunch of stuff there. So, I'm just going to check my skills page. Yeah, I did switch to Blood Vengeance Core. So, let's try and get all this guys down. On the bright side, this will make it a much faster rift than it otherwise would be. Back to rapid fire. This is the kind of situation where bowlers actually comes in really handy because the group damage it'll do here is really powerful. So, but of course we're not using bowlers because we prefer hungering arrows. He's greedy, he can die. Getting the rapid fire ring that gives you the rockets would be really good too. That won't happen for a while. I think we're going to level up fairly shortly too, off like these couple of kills here. Should see us get a level pretty soon. Grab that Netball Glory, grab that, there we go, ding. Got another bow. Set a new massacre record too, and we've unlocked another active skill category finally, which means that I've got Fan of Knives. Which I will never use, because it's just not very good. But it does give me the option, I think, of switching that out for... I could switch it out for preparation actually, or I could switch it out for caltrops. I'll switch it out for prep for the moment. Somehow back in combat. Die. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to switch Fan of Knives out for prep. As soon as I get to it. There it is. Because preparation's actually really handy, and it will help us a lot with keeping our vaults up. Yeah, we don't need Chakram. What am I doing? Oh, I've unlocked Evasive Fire already. I have unlocked Evasive Fire. So I'll switch over to Evasive Fire for the moment. Just because it's more powerful than Puncturing Arrow. And I think it generates one more hatred or No, it generates the same amount of hatred. But it is a better skill, so we use that at the moment. And yeah, that should make life a lot easier. So I've got like a lot of the basic stuff that I'm going to need to use. You can see how cool the basic fire is now that it doesn't backflip you miles away like it used to. And I'll probably just go through the runes on it, just to clean them up. Also, the backflip doesn't cost discipline anymore, which is really good. It used to cost discipline every time you did backflip, because you backflip like 30 yards away or something ridiculous like that, but now you only backflip a short distance, and it's just a little bit nicer. And it's guaranteed to hit multiple enemies, which Hungering Arrow is not guaranteed to do. So. Get this all sorted out. Kill these guys. That's not a good place to... Oh well. We got out of that pretty easily in the end. And I can drop prep to refill my discipline, which is great. So, of course, now I have to wait for prep to cool down before I can do that again, but it's still good. It seems to just have so many elites and champions in this retro. And it's that map with the stupid purple stuff that'll kill me if I stay too close to it. Ah, get out of all that. Oh wow. This is that whole enemy train thing that you sometimes get in this game when you're trying to farm an area very quickly. Ran out of discipline already, so I can't vault. It should be good at the moment. Oh. Fortunately, I can get out of that with smoke screen, so that's handy. Just drop the crap. Oh, wrong way. This way. Dropping bolt. Dropping crap. Clearing these guys out a lot. That's really handy. Just seem to have done really well on the champion packs here. Wow, we got a legendary. What level are we? What level did I say legendaries would drop at? 15? Well, that's level 14, so... Maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe it's a lower level. Maybe it's level 10. Well, we got our first legendary, so that's pretty cool. I'll just clear everything up. Here, don't need whites. Man, such gold. So, get through all this. And there's probably a heap more stuff over here. There's a heap more enemies too, look at it. So just kill these guys and then I'll check our loot. Just apply any upgrades. I think it might be the first belt we've got too. So that'd be really cool if it was. Start off with a legendary boat. That bodes well. So, legendary boat. Legendary belt. No, it's not our first belt. We're only missing shoulders, amulet, and one ring. That's a vigilante belt, and it's a massive upgrade, so we're just going to equip that. Not even going to argue about that one. That bow is a big upgrade too, so I'll switch that. I feel like one of these pants should be a good upgrade, but none of them are. That crossbow is a better upgrade than that bow too. So we're actually going to move on to that crossbow. That gives us more damage, and we've got our first set of braces, which aren't amazing, but they'll do for the moment. It's always better to have armor equipped than no armor equipped, so it's always worth doing. And we should see enemies start to go down a bit quicker here, solely because of those upgrades. So. Evil Eye the Damned, Plague and Electrified. So we've obviously hit the point where enemies will now give me 2 affixes. Of course, ultimately they'll start giving me 4 affixes. That won't happen until a lot later. Back in the old days, the number of affixes that elites and champions would have was based on the difficulty level, back when difficulty level was tied to progression, so the old normal, nightmare, inferno progression, hell progression. but now it's based on what level you are. I don't know the exact thresholds for it, but basically enemies will gain an affix based on what level you are, up to having a maximum of 4. So at the moment we've hit the threshold for 2 affix enemies, so we're going to hit level 15 pretty quickly too. We're doing alright for levels at this one. So. I can't remember if anything significant unlocks at level 15. Maybe it does. Not relying very heavily on anything outside of rapid fire at the moment, which is good. We want to get to elemental arrow at some point, that'd be great. Particularly if I can start using frost arrow, which is really strong. And of course, once we start getting marauders, we can start using things like cluster arrow and stuff like that. That's another crossbow. Vigilante belt's fairly... I'm not going to say it's a common legendary, but it's one I tend to get a lot. So, we're heading back the way we've come, so I'm just going to check the map to see. Yep, this way. So, we did pick up another crossbow then too, so I'll just see. No, not good. So, yep, head out this way and we should get more enemies. We should be able to clear this rift fairly quickly. Now, you can see how much more damage we're doing just after those couple of item upgrades. And that's even with level scaling happening as well. The thing you've got to be a little bit careful of is ensuring that you keep your gear up with levels. Because as you level up, the monsters will level up alongside you, and if your gear's not keeping up with that, you can end up in trouble. It's something that a lot of people ran into when Reaper of Souls came out and they were playing through the story mode. And they soon discovered their level 60 gear was not keeping up with the progression that the enemies were getting as they got through those tiers. So. There we go, level 15. And that unlocks Grenade, which is the last of the Hatred builders. So. Also unlocks a rune for Impale, which we won't be using because Impale's terrible. So those little jumps I'm making are the backflip effect from Rapid Fire. And they basically happen in the opposite direction to the direction you're firing. So you do have complete control over where you shoot, and of course where you jump backwards too. The old version was a bit more useful. I think the old version's preserved in one of the runes for evasive fire now. You can get a rune that gives you the longer jump. I can't remember what the penalty for doing that is. Optimally, I'll be going for the one that gives me the 7 Hatred regeneration once it unlocks. We'll be sticking to that. Oh, my Enchantress has gained her first skill too, which will be Charm. Actually, I'm going to go for. But I can't change it until I get out of combat. Charm is the one that turns everything into chickens. No, wait. Charm is the one that mind controls an enemy to fight for you for a bit. Forceful Push moves the enemies back, and it can be a little bit annoying, particularly if you're a melee character and you're rushing into battle and she does it. And all of a sudden the enemies wind up like pushed back and not where you were. So Charm isn't super useful, but you end up with an enemy fighting for you. You can still attack the enemy that's fighting for you though, so you end up killing them. So optimally what we want for her is one of the focuses that gives her either all her abilities unlocked, or that lets her not die. This should be enough to give us the Rift Guardian, maybe. If I can kill it quickly, that'd be nice. don't know why I hit preparation and it wasn't what I meant to hit, so... Almost there. Gotta clear these guys out and a few other things, and we should be able to. Or we could go down a level if we want. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to see if I can just get what I need here and not go through to the next level. So, stick to this first level if we can. We should be able to. There's enough here that should hit the Rift Guardian right now. In fact. So what do we get? We got a Cold Snap. He's kind of an annoying enemy to have because he does the frozen stuff, but it won't be much of a challenge at this level, so... Back that way. I think I completely avoided a freeze attack then too. He does have like a thing where he just frost noves you, locks you in place for a bit. And yeah, he has the frozen pulse as well, which you can pull down. And yeah, he does that, which we can smoke screen out of, so... Well, that was a rather spectacular enemy death. Just need to build up hatred a bit. Need to remember with using rapid fire too, not to click the right mouse button. You need to hold it down. Because if you click it, you'll just chew through all your hatred without doing a lot of damage. So. The downside to this, of course, I lose all my mobility. You have to stay in place when you use it. Even Volt interrupts it enough that you end up having to spend more to get it back. So you just got to be really careful with that. And that's one of the reasons Rapid Fire really isn't as good as it first seems. Like, I remember first playing Diablo 3 and Demon Hunters were out and everyone was playing Demon Hunter. And they were just using Rapid Fire all the time, even at high levels. They were using Rapid Fire all the time because it was an easy skill to use, and it appeared as though it did a lot of damage, but it became clearer and clearer that it wasn't the most efficient skill because of its ability to chew your hatred up a lot faster than most other spenders. It's not something that would seem obvious until you understood how it works, how it interacts with your hatred spending. And back then, I don't think it actually had the rune that reduced its cost either. So, anyway, that's this rift over and done with. I will go through our loot. I didn't get any legendaries off the boss then. You don't get guaranteed legendaries, I think, until Torment anyway. So just have a look to see if we got any upgrades. We got yellow pants, so we'll put those on. We got upgrade boots, so I'll put those on. That helm is... yeah, that's an upgrade. That's not an upgrade. Okay, so most of the rest of that stuff's just normal stuff. Of course, I have a legendary belt at the moment. So that's the end of this rift. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with another one.